I was watching one of your lives when you were walking outside, and someone had made a comment that really brought about this topic for me. Like, I was like, "Ooh, let me at him," but I didn't want to do it in your comments. I think I did a little bit.
You have my permission to call out anybody on my live.
The person said something along the lines of, "Oh, some people have it so easy. It's so easy for some people." And I'm like, "Are you fucking serious?" I'm sorry. There's going to be a lot of language in this because I'm just like upset. Yeah. People look at me, and I've even had comments like, "Come in, love, oh, look at you. You look so great, must be nice." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Must be nice. I want my ass off. Don't belittle what I've done. Don't belittle how hard I've worked to get what I have. It's not must be nice. I worked my ass off." And then there's people, these same people complaining about these things over and over and over again. Oh, my poor life, and oh this and oh this. I'm just like, dude, shut up and do what I have done. It's not hard. I'm not a superhuman. I'm not special. I'm not fancy. I just did the work. I just did the thing. I stopped bitching and complaining, and I just did the thing. I wanted my body to change, and so I changed my body. I have the power to do that. I changed my diet, and I exercise. It's not that fucking hard. But people want these pills. They want these magic. They want these potions. They want these quick fixes. They want the microwave option. I'm worked up, obviously. They want the microwave option, but it's not there. It's not there. I know the body that I want. I have a picture in my brain of the body that I want. I'm not going to get there in 5 months or 6 months. It's going to take me years to get to where I want. And I'm not talking about, oh, I'm strict on Monday through Friday and then I party on the weekends. That's not going to get me to where I want. I have to do it every single day. Every single day I have to push myself. If I want to grow my mind, I have to read books every single day. If I want to learn, I have to every single day. I am pouring my entirety into this, but at the same time, listen to these people who are laying on the couch, binge watching TV, eating all the food, la, 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 going, "Oh, my life sucks." I'm like, well, fucking do something about it. Okay.
Yeah. By the way, I'm fancy like Applebee's. Had to get that in there. You said, "I'm not fancy. You're fancy like Applebee's." Have you heard that song?
Yes, I have. It's a little more country than I prefer, but.
Oh yeah, I hate country, but that's kind of a cute song. I saw Applebee's actually put it in a commercial.
Like Applebee's on a date night. Got that Bourbon Street steak with the Oreo shake and some whipped cream on the top.
Okay.
Cute. Oh yeah, sorry, I got a little worked up there, guys.
No, look, you were loaded for bear on this one because tough love is kind of your mantra. Yeah. Because you come across as this sweet, innocent, beautiful, thing, and then, like blow people over the head with the tough love, and it's kind of your trademark. What we're talking about.
Love it. I really love it.
People that you do that to, by the way, a lot of people you do that to, they don't know they need it until you deliver it. In fact, I remember you talking about when you had some friends over and yeah, you just kind of casually talking, and sometimes you're just listening, and then you're like, so you had some childhood trauma, right? I'm hearing that. How you know? Oh, well, let's get into that. This is what's going on in your life. And like, you're delivering tough love. That's a hard thing, by the way, because when you give tough love, it could go one way or the other. It could go, "Oh, who do you think you are? Get the heck out of here. I don't want to hear what you have to say." Or, "Thank you. I needed to hear that. And you didn't know you needed it until you heard it. And then it's that realization of, I can be mad or I can be glad.
Yeah.
And eventually glad, not in the immediate, you won't feel glad, but eventually you'll be like, somebody told me something I needed to hear.
One of my favorite stories of this, I do this thing. It is something that I just do where I can casually just slip like the toughest of love, hard question to make you ask yourself, but in a nice way. I don't know. It's just a skill that I have. But my favorite story is I was over at my sister's house, and she had a bunch of teenage friends over in her bedroom. And my sister and I are pretty close, so I was just there. I was just listening. And she had this friend who's loud and boisterous, and like, he's awesome, but I could just feel it. That this facade that he had was protecting himself.
Yeah.
I just knew that was a protection mechanism, that's not who he really was when you get him quiet, when you get him on his own. And so I had never met him before. So I was a little ballsy and I was like, how's your relationship with your father? And he was like, well, I don't really talk to him. And I said, how does that make you feel? Just like you could see the color kind of drain out of his face. And he was like, well, yeah. And I was like, yeah, that loud, that you're putting on, I see through that. And I love you. And I just want to let you know that you're seen and you don't have to put on that facade to be loved and cared for. And I love you. And he was like, oh, I just will never forget his face when I delivered that to
Right.
him. I thought that was just a cute story.
Well, look, because tough love is hardly given because people fear the rejection that comes from giving it. It's rare.
Yeah.
Like you really are one of the rare ones who doesn't mind giving the tough love because you've experienced the benefit from being tough love towards you, but you also like giving it not out of a hateful heart. There's not a hateful bone in your body. If anything, you're the opposite. You love people too much sometimes and give them a lot of benefit of the doubt, which gives you kind of a tender heart and all the things that make you you. And so, yeah, so I think when you shared that with him, it was shocking because he probably knew it in his own heart of hearts, but he didn't want to face the reality until someone told him. And here you are, the sister of one of his friends, older sister of one of his friends, and you're like, he needs to hear this. And then he took it well.
Yeah, and I've done that oftentimes. I just love the teenagers. Just give me all the teenagers. I just want to hug them and hold them because I know how tough it was for me to be a teenager.
Yeah.
And so Tessa's friends, my sister, like they're always over at my house and we're having these, or I'm over there and we're just having these conversations. A lot of that comes there, but where this comes from is I don't want anybody to have some short-term fun that's going to cost them the rest of their life. And I say fun, but what I mean is like the people that come home after a long day and they're like, oh, I've had such a long day. I need a bubble bath. I need a drink. I deserve this. I need this. I need this. Like, no, that's not what you need. That's what you think you need. But it's the people that chase down these comforts. Like that's after a hard day, that's not what we need. It's not. If you did what set your soul on fire every single day, you wouldn't need to recover with a bubble bath. You wouldn't need gobs of junk food to comfort yourself. You wouldn't need to drink. You wouldn't need to smoke. Like that's a big thing in my family. They love to get together and drink. And I rarely participate because I don't need it. I don't want to numb out. I want to feel all these feelings.
I'm going to push back on you and play devil's advocate. I agree with everything you just said, but let's have fun. Brittany, you don't understand. The job I have to have it. It's not the passion of my heart, but I got to make a living for my family. I got mouths to feed. I got mortgages to pay. Yeah, I hate my life. And so what's the harm in a little bit of alcohol, a little bit of bonbons, watching Netflix, a little bit of anything that would numb you? What's the harm in that? I need that. It takes the edge off.
Yeah, it does take the edge off, but how long are you going to stay at that dead end job? How long are you going to accept being at the low totem pole? How long are you going to accept just staying home, getting home from work every day, exhausted, tired, burnt out, you don't want to go out on the weekends, you're so exhausted you can't even clean your house. How long are you going to keep accepting that? I'm not saying you have to quit your job and then go find another one. I'm not saying it's easy to find a job. I'm not saying that any of this is easy, but I'm saying that if you want to change your life, if you want to do something with your life, if you want to be successful, you can't do that. That is not an option. If you are comfortable and satisfied with going to your job that you hate and coming home and eating bonbons and watching TV and that's satisfactory to you, that's fine. That's okay. Don't hear me wrong. Do that. That's not enough for me. I don't want to live that life. I don't want to live the life where I go to work and work all day. I'm exhausted. I barely get time with my kids and I come home and I just numb out on all the things. I don't want that life. I want to be set on fire. I want my soul. I want to be burning from the inside. I want to wake up at 3:45 in the morning ready to fucking go, which I have been.
Yes. Now that is tough love that you just gave. But there's people that are perfectly fine living that life of what you just described. Get up, go to work, hate it, but do the job, bring home the money, take care of family, and then they die. And they do that their whole life. There's no adventure. There's no sense of wonder. There's no sense of wanting more. I know you well enough. Even when you get more, you're going to want more, and then more, and then more. And look, I've been highly successful at what I podcasting, book writing, all the things that I've done. And I don't even feel like I've just begun my work. That's how motivated I am. That's how tough love I give myself of, don't think you've arrived, boy. You ain't done nothing yet. That's the way my brain works. And so this tough love from within, maybe that's where people need to start. If you start speaking to yourself in tough love language, when someone else gives it to you, it's probably something you've already kicked your own ass about. So that could be a place where people start.
Yeah, listen, quit being a whiner and be a winner. Like, it's literally that simple. Quit bitching and just win. Like, I don't know how else to say it.
Did you read that in a David Goggins book? Stop being a whiner and become a winner.
Andy Frisella.
Oh, you're going to someday that's going to have all these little quips of your own in there. Yeah, you just need to feel the feels, but then I'm going to hit you if you don't do it. So.
See, another thing that I hear oftentimes is, you kind of came back at me, but Brittany, you don't understand. Here's the one that I get all the time, but Brittany, you don't know what I went through.
Yes.
Okay, you are right. I don't know your life. I don't know your story. I don't know the ins and outs and the trauma that you have been through. And I'm not saying, well, I can do it. Anybody can do it. That's bullshit too. But I am telling you, you can take your pain and your scars, and the pain and the scar can become the legacy of your life.
Yes.
Or the progress that you made in spite of the pain and the scars can become the legacy of your life. And that is me. That is me. I want people to look in on my life, and not even people. Let me take that back. I want to look in on my life and go, I went through this. I almost died, la, 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 all the things. And I still fucking did it. Like, that's what I want. I want to look back on my deathbed and go, I didn't waste a single fucking second. Now, I have wasted some seconds in my life, but I want to know that I killed it at every single set. Like, if I wanted to get something, I got it. Wild man, poor wild man. Let's just take a moment of silence. Poor wild man. But he will tell you, when we got together, we lived in a nothing place. I mean, we lived behind his parents in a house that was falling apart. We had nothing but the love that we have for each other. And I'm not even exaggerating. That's all we had, was the love that we shared together. That was it. And I always wanted more. And it wasn't a selfish thing. It wasn't selfish at all. It was, I am going to get what I want out of this life. And I'm going to use all these pain and all this scar. I'm going to throw it in my cookie jar. I've used that story before. And I am going to get all that I want out of this life in spite of these things. They're going to push me. They're going to motivate me. I'm not going to let them stop me. And I had to, again, tough love of Brittany. You've had a hard life. So what? So has everybody else. Everybody. We trick ourselves in thinking that we're the only ones that go through hard things. That's a lie that we tell ourselves. Every single person on this planet has gone through something hard. Some people have it harder. I don't like comparing traumas here, but like, some people just have gone through more than you have. But that doesn't mean that what you faced wasn't hard for you. Listen, I had never lost anybody quite as close as when I lost Mr. Chris. And I have, behind closed doors, I've really, really struggled with that. I still cry, I still get upset, it still rocks me. But what am I going to do? And like, I've literally asked myself this question. Am I going to lay on the couch and cry that he's not here? Or am I going to work my ass off and know that wherever he is fucking proud of me for standing back up after losing him, after him not being here? What am I going to do now? And that's really, there's you some tough love. That's a question you can ask yourself. Something hard happens to you, something breaks you, something tears you down. Don't think on it. Go, okay, what am I going to do now? What is my response to this? I'm fired up.
No, and I'm loving today the energy that we're having on this day. I'm really enjoying. So